What is going on, everybody? This is Brad at White Widow Sports, here to bring you the first of a two-part series highlighting players who were rookies this past season who I believe will have a better 2025 season. I'm calling these my Sophomore Surges, and today we're going to be looking at 10 wide receivers who I could see taking a sizable leap forward in their second season, and why I think that will be the case. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off this list is Denver Broncos receiver Troy Franklin, a highly touted prospect from Oregon who saw himself fall from first-round discussion all the way to the fourth round before being reunited with college quarterback Bo Nix. Standing at 6'3" but weighing 180 pounds, Franklin is the next in the line of the Slim Reaper build, boasting 4.4 speed with smooth route running and excellent body control. Working in his favor is that pre-built chemistry with budding star Bo Nix, who had a great rookie season without really Franklin being consistently involved. With a final stat line of just 28 catches for 263 yards and 2 touchdowns in 16 games, Franklin will need to prove over the offseason that he deserves more opportunity after being an afterthought in 2024 behind the trio of Courtland Sutton, Marvin Mims, and Devon Bailey. Second on the list is Adonai A.D. Mitchell, the 52nd pick of the 2024 draft out of Texas, which sent the former Longhorn and Georgia Bulldog to play for the Indianapolis Colts. Similarly to Troy Franklin, Mitchell found himself battling a trio of established holdovers in Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, and Alec Pierce. Even more detrimental was the inconsistent play from the quarterback Anthony Richardson, who will need to show a lot more consistency in 2025 to elevate the numbers of his talented receiving corps. 2024 was the second year for the Colts under head coach Shane Steichen, and if he wants to make it through a third year, he will have to see a return on investment with the second-round pick. With just 23 catches for 312 yards last season, getting the 6'2", 205-pound burner his first receiving touchdown will have to be an early priority for the offense in 2025. Next, we're going to look at former Utah receiver Devon Bailey, the 6'5", seventh-round pick and teammate of Troy Franklin. That's right, the Denver Broncos have 2 wide receivers on this list, which I think is a testament to how bright the future seems to be for this offense with Bo Nix at the helm. Bailey came out of nowhere to earn considerable opportunity in the Bronco offense, catching 41 balls for 475 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 13 games, numbers that surpassed Troy Franklin, who many thought had the inside track for playing time going into the 24 season. Being the tallest receiver on an NFL roster that does not boast a notable tight end will keep Bailey relevant as a red zone weapon and possession specialist with plenty of room to grow in an offense that could be even better in Nix's second season as the starter. The fourth guy that I wanted to mention is one of my favorite names on this list, and that is Jalen Coker, a Carolina Panthers receiver who went undrafted last year out of Holy Cross. Coker was a primary beneficiary of Bryce Young's resurgence, securing 32 catches, 478 yards, and 3 touchdowns in just 11 games. There are a number of things working in Coker's favor, with the aforementioned trajectory of former first overall pick Bryce Young seemingly being an upwards one, as well as the second season of head coach Dave Canales raising expectations around Charlotte. Fellow rookies Xavier Legette and Jatavian Sanders will return alongside Jalen Coker, but one name who may fade from the Carolina ranks is Adam Thielen, who will be 35 years old come August and might not be considered a lock to even make the roster in 2025. A Thielen departure or steep decline will only increase the opportunities for everyone else in the offense, and I see Coker taking a sizable step forward in his second NFL season. Another offense that could lack some veteran receiver presence in 2025 is that of the Miami Dolphins, who brought in Odell Beckham Jr. last year but released him in December. While OBJ only managed to catch 9 passes in 9 games, the increased playing time and opportunity was a blessing from Malik Washington, the 184th pick out of Virginia, who caught 26 passes for 223 yards. While he'll be hunting for his first NFL touchdown next season, the breakout rumors for Washington will only grow in volume if the tension between Miami and superstar Tyreek Hill lead to a parting of ways in the coming months. While Jalen Waddle would presumably take over the role of wide receiver 1 in that instance, Washington would likely be the favorite to slot in across from him in 2 receiver sets, which would mean a massive increase in target volume for the former Cavalier. The Dolphins have said that they have absolutely no concern about moving forward with Tua as their starter, and that consistency would only be a good thing for Malik Washington as he looks to build on his promising rookie season. Here at the halfway point, and if you're still following along with me and enjoying the video so far, please do me a favor and drop a like on the video, and if you haven't done so already, we at White Widow Sports would really appreciate you subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Now, Moving into the second half of the video, we've got one of the bigger disappointments from last year's incredible rookie class, and that is New England Patriots wide receiver Jalen Polk. Polk, drafted 37th overall out of Washington, managed only 12 catches for 87 yards, but did haul in 2 touchdowns in very little work. Jacoby Brissett started at quarterback for the Patriots in the early part of the season, but eventually was replaced by Drake May. Even this change at quarterback was not enough to change the fortunes of the early second-rounder, but it would be foolish to write off the former Husky after only one season. I think we'll see a huge jump in numbers for Polk, even if the Patriots make a splash at the receiver position, by either bringing in a free agent like T. Higgins, trading for somebody like Tyreek Hill, or even drafting another form of competition in, say, Ted McMillan with their early first-round pick in the upcoming draft. With Mike Vrabel bringing in familiar face Josh McDaniels to work similar magic with Drake May as he did with Mac Jones during his rookie season, we could see a vastly improved Patriot offense in 2025, and Polk should be a big part of that. Now, first-round pick, 4.4 speed, 42-inch vert, success in the SEC, all of those things would sound good to you, right? What if I told you the next receiver on the list is tied to a talented young quarterback in one of the best offenses in the league? The major talk around the San Francisco 49ers last year was the future of Brandon Ayuk, who was eventually signed to a 4-year, $120 million extension before tearing his ACL and MCL in a game against the Kansas City Chiefs in October. While it's possible that Ayuk will return at some point in 2025 and reclaim his normal target share, it's also likely that he begins the season on the PUP list. Furthermore, the contract given to Ayuk could be a sign of Deebo Samuel exiting the San Francisco offense and leaving an even larger hole in the wide receiver room. Enter the next player on our list, Ricky Pearsall. If Deebo is dealt to another team to make room for Brock Purdy's pending contract, Pearsall will immediately jump to the top of the depth chart alongside Juwan Jennings, and that means we should expect to see a major uptick from the 31-catch, 400-yard, 3-touchdown stat line we saw from Pearsall, who played in only 11 games after getting shot in an attempted robbery in August of last year. Moving into the final 3 players on this list, the receiver I'd like to talk about next is Tampa Bay Buccaneer Jalen McMillan. Drafted 92nd overall out of Washington, makes him the second former Husky on this list, and unlike his collegiate teammate Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan was given plenty of opportunity in 2024 and made the most of it. With both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin missing time last year, McMillan brought in 37 Baker Mayfield passes, totaling 461 yards and a massive 8 touchdowns. At the time of this recording, it's believed that Tampa's offensive coordinator Liam Cohen is headed to Jacksonville to become the new head coach, and while that does hurt the continuity of the offense, Baker Mayfield was impressive under both Cohen and Canales, and it doesn't seem likely that he'll substantially regress even with that change. One thing that might further assist in the ascension of Jalen McMillan, though, is the possible departure of Chris Godwin, who is a free agent in 2025 and who suffered a season-ending injury when he dislocated his ankle in the final minutes of a Monday Night Football matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. Moving into a starting spot across from Mike Evans should yield incredible results for this young superstar in the making. High expectations can be a gift or a curse for young players in the NFL, and arguably no one had higher expectations as a rookie than 4th overall pick Marvin Harrison Jr. Drafted to the Arizona Cardinals out of the wide receiver factory known as Ohio State, Maserati Marv, son of the NFL Hall of Famer by the same name who caught his passes from Peyton Manning, was considered to be as pro-ready as you could be coming into the league last year, and despite racking up 8 touchdowns and nearly 900 yards, Harrison actually had a pretty disappointing campaign. His 62 catches are the most of any receiver on this list, but they came on 116 targets, which is a catch rate of only 53%. The chemistry of Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. certainly needs to improve moving forward, but more importantly is the way the team utilized the young star, which was horrendous. The 6'4", 205-pound receiver was asked to run a lot of digs, outs, and comeback routes as a rookie, essentially making him stop his tracks and fight for the ball with a pro corner draped all over him on the majority of his targets, instead of letting him work across the field, find soft spots in coverage, and just get open. That concept seemingly only applied when scheming Trey McBride open and didn't benefit Marvin Harrison Jr. For the Cardinals to make use of the generational talent that is Marvin Harrison Jr., they need to figure out how to turn him from decoy to focal point and fast. We've got room for one more player on our list. It's one that I think will truly break out into possible superstardom next year. While we've already discussed 2 receivers from the Washington Huskies, this list would be incomplete without the third and most talented of the group, and that is, of course, the former 9th overall pick, Rome Odunze. At 6'3" and 215 pounds, this phenom was Michael Penix Jr.'s most dynamic weapon in 2023, but that didn't parlay into a dominant rookie season with the lowly Bears. Chicago owned 2 picks in the top 10 last year and turned those into quarterback Caleb Williams and wide receiver Rome Odunze, pairing the two impressive youngsters together on an offense that also included veterans DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and DeAndre Swift. With Keenan Allen on an age-related decline and possibly out of the door this offseason, and with the addition of new head coach Ben Johnson coming over from Detroit, the sky is certainly the limit for Rome as he looks to improve upon the 54-catch, 734-yard, 3-touchdown line he produced in 2024. If the chemistry between he and Caleb shows a marked improvement and both players acclimate to the new offense well, we could easily see Rome Odunze take off in 2025 and ascend to one of the top 10 receivers in the league and prove why he was mentioned in the same breath as fellow rookies Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors during last year's draft cycle. And there you have it. These 10 receivers are all poised to take a step forward and improve upon their rookie production, but I'm curious to know who you thought was missing from this list. Are there any receivers you were expecting to hear me talk about that weren't mentioned? Drop them in a comment below and let me know why you think they were obvious inclusions. We love to have discussions about all things sports here, and I'd love to engage with you guys about this topic. If you're interested in hearing the same topic discussed for other positions in the league, Part 2 will be coming out in the near future, and we'll be discussing quarterbacks, running backs, and tight ends through the same lens. Do you have any other ideas for a video that you'd like for us to put out? Drop those suggestions in the comments as well, and I'll see what we can put together for you. Thank you again for listening. I appreciate every single one of you that took the time out of your day to hear me talking about this, and I hope you found it both entertaining and informative. Once again, I ask that you please like the video and subscribe to White Widow Sports, as we've got a lot more of this on the way. This is Brad, signing out.